Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam86 and we're going to be talking all things Chivas. Obviously Chivas have just beaten Atlas at home, a 4-1 in a huge victory. There's various reasons why I haven't done a video on Chivas for a while. One of the reasons is there's so much stuff going on off the pitch that I kind of wanted to wait and see how that panned out before I commented on it. We'll get straight to the game first. I mean, it was a dominant performance from Chivas. I mean, easily the best game of the season for us since the whole Leagues Cup fiasco. And yeah, it was a much needed win on the field and off the field. On the field, we haven't won a game for a while. We've drawn a couple. We had a horrific loss against Club America while I was in the States. And yeah, we needed a win. And, a huge game against Atlas, local rivals. It's one of the two biggest games of the season for us. Arguably, some people would say it's the biggest. I think personally, America's the biggest game because I think they're the bigger club out of them and Atlas. But huge local rivalry. Obviously, if you're a Guadalajara native, you're gonna think that it's gonna be this is going to be the bigger game. So our run of form over the last 5 or 6 games has been terrible. Let's just be real. The game I went to see in Pachuca in particular was up and down. We had a penalty save in that game, but overall the attacking play was just non-existent. Completely different in this game. Chivas dominated the entire game, in my opinion. Attacking wise, it was really fluid, and we were attacking them. We were having shots, something that we haven't been doing enough in the last few games. The players looked fired up. By the way, they looked hungry. I tweeted that before the game a few hours ago. Like, I just want them to play with heart, play with fire, play with some pride, play for the shirt, play for the fans. You may not necessarily be the most talented player, but if you're playing and you put the effort in, it ups your game. And these players have got talent. Let's just be real about that. These players do have talent. It's just things haven't been right, especially off the field, and that's affected our play in on the field. I think. But yeah, dominant performance. Beltran getting a really nice early goal, which I think really stabilized us. I think we calmed our nerves a little bit, but we were on them from the get go. Alice came back with a goal when we were 2-0 up, 2-1 up, 2-0 up, sorry, to make it 2-1, and going into half time 2-1, you're thinking, okay, maybe they can come back in the second half, but yeah, no, whatever Pauno said to them in the half time break works because Chivas came out and looked even better. Absolute dominant performance. I would say the second half of this game was the best game we've had since the League Cup tournament, since our first 3 games of the season. It's our best result of the season, and it's exactly what we needed. We needed a good win. We needed a strong win. Pauno needed it. The fans needed it. The players needed it, and hopefully this is a turning point now. As Pauno said, this is the start of our resurgence, and hopefully that works. Hopefully we've turned a corner now. Hopefully we've put certain things aside that I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, dominant result, absolute brilliant result. Atlas were not good. They didn't play well, in my opinion. They had one of their players injured, by the way, which, condolences to him. It looked pretty horrific. His knee was all mangled, but hopefully he recovers. But apart from that, Atlas didn't do anything, in my opinion. They didn't look anywhere near like they were gonna score more than the one goal. The goal that they scored was decent, I guess, for them. But yeah, no, that was one of the few times they really troubled us. I mean, Watcher had a couple of shaky moments. Gutted for Rangel. I'm hoping that his injury is not too bad. I heard that he came off because he was injured. So yeah, hopefully he does. Hopefully he stays fit because I think Paulo really thinks Rangel is going to be the next number one now. And hopefully he's fit. I mean, it's an international break now, so hopefully he has a little bit of time to get recuperated. But overall, brilliant play, brilliant game, brilliant play, brilliant day, and much needed. It was much needed. And I'll talk about why it was much needed and now, because obviously the whole thing, the first thing that happened, obviously everyone knows by now. I'm just going to reiterate it for the people that don't know, and that way I can give my opinion on it. The whole Vega, Chicote, and Martinez. Martinez doesn't seem to be that involved anymore, but Chicote and Vega seem to be no longer Chivas players, especially Chakotay. There was, I mean, obviously, Chivas came out with a statement saying that they're not part of the team anymore. They're going to be training on their own to keep up their fitness, but that's about it. They didn't give any explanation why. I mean, they never really do. Football teams don't really, clubs don't really like fully explaining things. So that obviously allowed the rumor mill to go into overdrive. Obviously, you know what the Mexican media is like, and the fans as well. It's just a frenzy of rumors. It turns out that the main rumor at the moment is that they were partying. Actually, I think it was probably the Toluca game. After the Toluca game, that apparently they had a party in a hotel or something, and some girls were invited. Um, that was the main rumor, and then obviously both Chakotay and Vega's wives came out and said no, 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 that's not true. Blah blah blah. Um, and yeah, Chakotay, they handled it in different ways. Chakotay basically took all Chivas off a bit petulant, really, took Chivas off his social medias. I think he may have made a post as well, negative post, and Chivas didn't like that. So they pretty much told him straight up, apparently, that he's no longer in the team and no longer in the club. And then Vega handled it a little bit better. He stayed quiet, didn't really post anything, didn't make it worse. Amari apparently has still turned around to him and said that you're not part of Chivas anymore. There's massive rumours now of him being sold. Chakotay, I like Chakotay and Vega. I like them both. I think they're really good players. Both have temperamental issues. Both have discipline issues, especially in the past. But I think overall they're really good players. It's just they should have had better careers at Chivas, especially Vega. Vega was at one point topped to be the next big star for Mexico, let alone Chivas, and it hasn't panned out. Um, I'm really gutted, really sad if this is the end of his Chivas career. I hope it's not, but I think we're gonna be cashing in on him. Um, Vega's my boy. I've never been shy about it. When he was at Toluca, I absolutely rated him. I wanted him. I was begging Chivas to sign him, and we finally did. I mean, Vega's my boy. My very first Chivas jersey that I ever bought, had his name and number on the back when he was still number 7. Um, he's my boy. I'll never not say a bad word. I'll never say a bad word to him or about him. I think he's a great player. I think it just hasn't worked at Chivas. It's likely that he's going to move to another Mexican club, but hey, if he can make it to Europe, maybe he decides now, you know what, I want to go to Europe, but has he done enough to warrant European interest? That's a bit of a question. But I think he's going to go to another Mexican club, and if he does well there, then he does well there. I think he will do well. I think Chivas, for all the banter that Chivas gets from other fans, other clubs, Chivas are a huge club. Big club, biggest club in Mexico, and with that you get extra scrutiny, extra criticism. You have to hold yourself to an extra high status, and yeah, Vega in particular hasn't been able to do that. He's had discipline issues. He's been up high, and you can't do that at Chivas and stay and become a really good player and become a fan favorite. He's just done too many things, and I think it's good for both players. I think for club and player, I think he needs a change, and I think Chivas needs to move on for him. I think we've got Padilla coming in now, Brigado. We've got loads, well, I say loads, we've got a fair few youngsters coming through the ranks now. Maybe it's a chance for the club now to go a little bit younger and go in a different direction. So if we can get some money from Vega, that's great. I think we should. Probably nowhere near how much he's truly worth, especially when he signed his new contract. But I think it's the best move for both. I think he needs a bit of a change. If he goes to a Monterrey, if he goes to I don't know, any other Mexican team except for Club America, I think the scrutiny is going to be less on him. Although having said that, everyone's going to be judging how well he does when he goes to another club. To be honest, but I think he'll be a little bit more. I think he'll be relieved to be away from Chivas, to be honest, and all the scrutiny that comes with that. So that's my say on that. I love Vega. I love the jerseys. No, I'm not gonna get rid of. For me, Vega's an integral part of my Chivas journey and my own personal Chivas journey. Obviously, there's people that have supported Guadalajara and Chivas all their lives, and for them, Vega's career at Chivas is a blip. in the overall story. For me, he's a vital and important part of that. Polito was one of my favourite players when we signed him when I first became a Chivas fan. Vega, like I said, Vega was one of the players, like Alfonso Ponchito Gonzalez. If he had joined Chivas, he would have been one of my favourite players as well. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's all I got to say on that. But the other thing that came out was Fabrizio Romano, of all people, coming out saying that Paunovic had an offer from a La Liga side Almeria to become their new coach, their new manager, and that he was seriously considering it. And yeah, two things you don't really want to happen. You know, ahead a few days before one of the two biggest games of the season, your local rivalry, the local derby. Yeah, let's just have two of our prominent players leave, get kicked out of the club, and then let's go and get our coach linked to a European move. Um, yeah, so my thought with that was I'd rather I'm happier seeing Vega and Chakotay leave than I would be seeing Pauno leave. But there are some people, one or two people that I know on Twitter that don't rate him or don't rate the job that he's doing. I think that's ludicrous in my personal opinion. I love the guys that are saying that, but bro, like he got us to the Gear final last season, last tournament. Like he's done brilliantly for the club. It's just his job is difficult. He's not come into a team that's on the cusp of doing brilliant things, and he's just giving them a little nudge. He's had to turn the culture of the club around. He's brought in players that are from the Cantarano, and he's brought in players that Marin. Everyone questioned Ricardo Marin. I want to talk about him in a minute because what a player. Everyone questioned him. I questioned him a little bit. I would rather at the time I'd rather have seen Puente come in. I think he was doing really well for Tapatio. But you think, okay, Marin got the we're going in a bit of a younger direction, even though Marin's 25, 26 now, but we're going in a bit of a little bit of direction. We're going, um, a little bit younger, similar to what Arsenal did with Arteta and bringing Saka in and all that. But he was still the league's top scorer last season for the second league, so the expansion league, whatever you want to call it. It's taken him a long time to bed in at Chivas. Like I said with Vega. I said Vega. That's what I said about Vega. Like the scrutiny, the responsibility, the pressure is heightened when you're at Chivas. I think only America rivals that, in my opinion. I think even then, Chivas get more scrutiny than I think American players do. What a player! He scored in the last couple of games now. He scored twice in this Atlas game. The first goal was a decent header. I mean, he had to be in the right position at the right time, but it was a pretty easy-ish. I wouldn't say easy, but it was a straightforward header. The second goal, 1-on-1, he got in behind the defender, 1-on-1 the keeper slots it in. That for me, I tweeted out that's the number 9 goal. And he's coming into his own. He's becoming more, I think, confident. Pauno's, I think, has obviously put his arm around him and said, "Look, you're going to be my striker now." Um, Pauno was playing him when he wasn't playing well, and when I was criticising him, when a lot of other fans were criticising him. But he's turning the tide. That's what you want to do. That's what you want. You want your players, you want your coach to improve the players that you have. Obviously, Pauno probably had a part in bringing Marin in the first place, but even if he didn't, he's improved him. He's taken him like you're my striker. Go out there and show him what you can do, and he's doing that now. So he's scoring 2 goals in the local derby against Atlas. So he's become almost a cult hero now. Scoring against Atlas makes you a fan favourite. Um, so yeah, brilliant for Marin, brilliant for Paunovic. Apparently, the news coming out, the way that Pauno has come out, he's obviously got Twitter, and where he's come out in press conferences the last couple of days, the pre-game press conference, he sounded like he wanted to stay. Sounded like he wasn't really preparing to leave. I tweeted out like I don't blame him for leaving because Chivas are a mess at the moment. But I do blame him for leaving now. If he chooses to leave now before we've even reached the gear, then is a bit of a dick move in my opinion. But I think he's gonna stay. I think he's gonna stay. I think him staying is partly how the players have reacted tonight. You know, you're not going to play for a coach that you know is leaving you. So I think he's going to stay. I don't think Almeria is a big enough club for him to really. I mean, they obviously played there, and there was a whole link, and I think that's the only reason why Romano commented there on it, because he'd played there, I think, in his club career, so he's got a bit of a history with Almeria, but I don't think he's gonna leave. I feel like he's got a hell of a lot more to do at Chivas. Um, if we can get Chakotay and Vega out, get some decent money, if we can continue to bring in young players, if we can continue, like, Rangel's, I would say, looking like a new starting goalkeeper. Padilha's getting minutes as well. He's not getting as much minutes at the moment. I think that's purely because he's stopped scoring and assisting. He's making it a little bit easier on, Alvarado and Venezuela as well to kind of stay in the team because he's not impacting games hard enough for me off the bench. But he's still a brilliant player. He's gonna score goals. He's gonna be a top player for Chivas and Brigadier as well. I would like to see a couple more players like Puente, like I said. But that's what I wanted. I want us to bring players in from our youth system. Our U21 smashed Atlas earlier in the evening. The under 18s got a 1-0 victory as well, but there's loads of players in the under 23s that I would happily see in Chivas first team. Um, if you have big name stars in your team that are performing and having discipline issues and causing you grief, and you won't get rid of, the first thing to do is bring players from your youth system because they're going to be hungry. They're going to be fired up. They're going to be young as well. They're going to be willing to run, willing to work. We saw it at Arsenal. And I tell you, that's why I keep bringing Arsenal up because they brought young players, and also they're loyal to you because you've given them the debuts. You've given them their first chance at that first team. They're going to fight harder for you than a Vega would, in my opinion. And like I said, that fight, that determination, the willingness to work boosts your natural ability, in my opinion. So yeah, at the moment it's a brilliant result. I'm not going to go too overboard. Like, we've had a bad run of form for the last couple of months, but if there's going to be an upturn, if there's going to be a turning point, this is it. For me, 4-1 victory against Atlas. Obviously, Piojo Alvarado, who I've not really spoken about yet. What a player! I would say he's our best player this season. Even last season, he scored in the final in the last leg. Um, he's scoring now. He's assisting now. He's becoming. He won the penalty. He took the penalty as well. By the way, he scored the fourth goal, but he won it brilliantly. Um, you can argue that he should have got a penalty in the last game, but he's doing more. He's becoming more. He's doing what Vega should have been doing. He's putting the team on his back and he's carrying us through. Um, so he's getting assists now. He's getting goals, and he's becoming the player that I wanted him to be. So long may that continue. I think he deserves. If I think he deserves a spot in L3, the squad. People like ban him, but like he's miles better than Antuna and he's miles better than Linez. Sorry, but it's true. Anyway, guys, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I mean, it was a great win. Hopefully, the Paulo thing's settled now. He's got a really good way. I mean, obviously, he speaks perfect Spanish. I mean, I could only dream of speaking Spanish the way he does, but he's so good at communicating with the fans. And that's what Arteta's like with Arsenal. I always make the comparison between the two clubs because I think they are similar. Arteta's always spoken well to the fans. That's why the fans love him mostly. 99% of the fans love him. Paunovic has got that with Chivas as well. He knows what to say, when to say it. And it's not a joke. Like, this season's been tough, but we can still get to Ligia. And like I always say, if we get to Ligia, anything can happen. It did last season, so why can't it be this season? Hopefully the Vega Chakotay thing's settled now. Hopefully the Paunovic thing's settled now. The off the field thing's settled now, and hopefully the team is kind of comfortable. I want to see the same starting 11 as we saw this game in the next game after the international break. So hopefully Van is fit by then. But yeah, brilliant start. For me, it feels like the true start to the season again after the League Cup final, League Cup tournament. Um, Yeah, brilliant result, fantastic, love it, and long may it continue. So yeah, anyway, guys, I love and leave you, and I'll see you guys very soon. Please leave a comment down below and like the video and subscribe if you haven't. It really does help me. I'm trying to grow the channel as much as I can, so I want to reach more of you. I met a whole bunch of people at the cheapest game I went to in last month. I want to meet more of you, so I've also got a special video about that, by the way. I've got a video coming up about my Guadalajara trip, my Chivas trip, so keep an eye out for that. It's going to come out soonish when I can be bothered to edit it fully. So, yeah, I really love it, and I really love for you to subscribe and leave a comment. I'll talk to everyone, I'll reply to everyone, good and bad, in the comments. So, yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys very soon. Adios. Vamos, Chivas!